Hey, looks like somebody just joined in. If you could just comment so I know who you are. What's up? Are you in the India time zone or where are you? Cool. I'm just going to give it a minute for, I think, people to join in. Oh, hey, Sham. Uh, Hey, both of you. It's awesome to see you guys. Keep seeing you guys in the chat, of course, on our Telegram group. So it's brilliant to see you guys here again. So how are you guys doing? What are you up to? Anything interesting? Have you been investing? No, nobody. You've not been. Okay, you're saying. Yeah. So we'll actually be talking about a lot of market updates today, right? The whole. Yes, we'll actually talk about that today. Um, but going back to 18K, yeah, possible, but maybe not for like too long. I guess. I mean, it might go touch and go back up again, but I don't think it'll stay there. That's good. Yeah. So Matic particularly, I mean, I have to check up on that, but today's live session will be more about macro updates. So we get an idea of where the whole market itself is heading and what are the important news that has sort of happened in the last few days. Regarding that, that's what we'll probably focus on. So let's just get started on that. So I think first things first, right? Bitcoin is at 23,000. Um, yep, it'll come soon. It'll come. I'm just trying to find, find a time when there is a lot of search for that. That's the only thing that's holding me back, honestly, because right now there are like less than I think 3,000 people searching for it. So let's look at this right today. I'll talk about first the macro factors. So first thing is Bitcoin's at 23,000, right? And it's been at 23,000 for the last 10 days almost, I think, right? Will it go up from here? Because it's been hovering around 23,000. It, of course, went very quickly from like 16,000 to 21,000 and then to 23,000, but it's hovering at 23,000 for the last 10 days. So, what pretty much happens in this kind of a scenario is that it requires some kind of a positive news, right? The market runs on sentiment. For it to get pushed up from here, it again requires some kind of a positive sentiment, and maybe next month's inflation numbers, or maybe the fact that some central bank will not raise interest rates. Anything of those sorts could trigger Bitcoin to go up further. Maybe by another 1 2K. Like 25K is a great psychological barrier as well. So once it breaches 25K, it might hover around 25K for a while before it hits 30K. So the next possible place where it'll sit is probably 25K. But that needs a push, right? That, of course, is something that needs to happen. The Fed interest rates hike, as it has created a disaster in the world, right? The US might hit a debt ceiling by June. The US itself is paying enormous interest rates. In fact, they are paying something like I think 1.5 trillion dollars, in interest payments right now, and that's just crazy high. So it's not just you and me, right? I know for all of us as well, our car, home loans, whatever, it is all increased. But certainly, even for the governments, their interest rates have increased as well, and hence they're also paying a higher repayment, not just us. So everybody's feeling the pinch in that sense. And that has sort of led to all those crazy tech layoffs, right? We saw everybody from Google to Amazon to Microsoft laying off, and it's been a pretty sad week in that sense. A lot of people losing their jobs. But what has resulted because of all this is one thing is the car repossession rates have increased. What does that mean? People are not able to pay in the US. I'm talking about particularly the US. People are not able to pay for their car EMIs, and because they're not able to pay for car EMIs, their cars are being repossessed, and this is increasing. So you have a few things that you need, right? Especially in the US, like your you need a home, you need of course a car, and so on. And probably the first thing that you will lose out is your car. That's what you'll want to give up first. And people are giving up that because they're unable to pay for their car EMIs. So that's a pretty bad sign, right? Because the next thing that might happen is homes. Right? People might default on their home loans, and then you might see some kind of a mortgage crisis and whatnot. uh, so Sham, to answer your question, so I'm actually a product manager. That's my profession, and I'm actually a crypto product manager. I create products on crypto taxation, and right now I'm creating a product on crypto taxation. So yeah, uh, that's my full time profession, so to say. But crypto is there on both ends. That's for sure. So yeah, getting back to what we were discussing, right? Home loans, crisis, something that might happen in the US again. If the interest rates do not stop, and if that happens, it's pretty bad. But the silver lining is next year is election year, or at least the year where the whole primaries and the whole pre-election process happens in the US. And that means that politicians would not want to go in with like bad, high inflation, low jobs, and so on. Right? They don't want that. So most likely, by probably second half of this year, they will try to normalize all that. They will try to ensure that jobs are back. They'll try to ensure probably interest rates will come down. So I think it's another maybe 3 months of bad weather. After that, things might become good again. Broadly from a macroeconomic point of view, I think that's where it's heading. But remember two things. First one is, it doesn't matter what the macroeconomic conditions are. Money will always flow to the most profitable avenues. Right? Of course, the US is increasing interest rates and making it more attractive to invest in their securities, which is it's considered that it will not default and so on, the most low risk ones. But money will always flow to places where there is a higher chance of profitability. Right? That is, money is like water. It will always flow where it wants to flow. It doesn't care about anything else. Of course, you can dam water, you can try to stop it, but water will always try to percolate through and go on its own course. Same with money. It doesn't matter if the US continues to raise interest rates. If there is a better place to park the money and get a higher return on that money, the money will flow there. And I think crypto is heading in that direction, because we know that the next Bitcoin halving cycle is going to happen in next year. And we have historically seen that as we go towards it, people start sort of increasing their investments into crypto and so on. So do remember that. And another thing to remember is everything is cyclical. Right? Markets are cyclical, people are cyclical by nature. Everything is cyclical, the whole world is cyclical. So if something has gone up last year and if something has crashed, then it's bound to go up again. In some way or the other, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. It's how you bear through that whole period. Hmm, do you do futures trading crypto? No, Sham. I don't do any trading at all. Anything in terms of the short term trading. I mean, futures, options, margin, none of those. I only invest for the long run. Uh, I generally pick themes. I pick cryptos based on where I think it'll go. Right. For instance, we know that this year probably L2s will be a big thing. L1s will of course be a big thing. We know that some gaming cryptos might go up well. We know that interoperability is a big deal. So I pretty much pick themes where I think the developments are happening, where I think the next big problem is being solved, and then I invest in those. And that's typically how I invest in these cryptos. Yeah, great to hear that question. Uh, Now, another interesting thing that's sort of happening is institutional developments, right? A lot of institutional developments, I would like to say. We're all retail. I'm just referring to institutional as anybody other than us, for just a broad way of referring. Like Moody's, for instance, is working on a scoring system for crypto stable coins, right? This is very important because it means that mainstream financial institutions or allied institutions, they're all trying to look at crypto as some kind of an asset class. There's acceptability that is increasing, and if Moody's is coming out and giving some rating, or if they decide to give some rating, once they do that, other rating agencies will follow, and once you have a rating, then you will find people trying to invest in them, right? Because ratings are like the baseline. That is where it starts. Amy, don't you think that it's a bull trap? Would love to hear your thoughts. Uh, I don't think it's a bull trap. I think at least not to the level that it might go down to 11K. I doubt that, because we've seen Bitcoin sort of go in these cycles. Any positive sentiment will push it up. Any negative sentiment will, of course, push it down. But for Bitcoin to like go down by 50% to 11K, I think you need to have like an extremely bad negative sentiment. And I don't think in the next few months at least, it looks like there is anything of that nature coming out. Right, and another exchange collapsing, none of that would affect Bitcoin to an extent where it might come down to 11K. And in fact, I think there is more positives for Bitcoin in the next few months than negatives. So mostly, it like like I was answering someone, it might touch like 18K probably, but very briefly, and then go back up to a 23K. 25K is the next one. Yeah, retesting, of course. That's what it could go down to like 18K, maybe. It could go down a bit, but for a very brief time before people start picking up Bitcoin again. So it'll definitely go back up again. But I don't think it will go down to, let's say, a 17, 18K and stay there for weeks together. It might go down for a couple of days and go back up again. At least that's what I think. Oh, so as we was talking about Moody's, right? Now Moody's is trying to rate stable coins, and that will lead to a lot of financial institutions investing into crypto. So keep in mind that the broader trend where this is headed is that people are financial institutions especially are taking this very seriously. They are trying to understand crypto. They're trying to somewhere put a framework on it, try and analyze it. And if they're doing that, it means that acceptability is coming, broader acceptability is coming, right? And the larger trend for you as an investor is that prices will rise. Now, Senator Ted Cruz, right, who's one of the biggest supporters of Bitcoin mining and so on, wants to force Capitol Hill vending machines to accept crypto. What that means is only any vending machine vendor who wants to put up, a machine in Capitol Hill has to accept crypto. This is, of course, Capitol Hill spending might be irrelevant, but what you really have to look at from a broader perspective is that if this happens, or at least the fact that a senator is thinking about this, it means that politicians are also thinking about, hey, this is good, right? And as more and more politicians start accepting this, you'll see favorable legislations and so on. So that's one positive. The UK Treasury is looking for a CBDC head as it explores the digital pound. So that is one job opening of sorts that has recently popped up on LinkedIn. This is pretty much important, I think, for everyone, because if the next set of, especially because a lot of layoffs and all that has happened, the next set of careers will really be in crypto. So it's time to understand crypto. It's time to know the jargon. It's time to know at least some basics of it, because all kinds of jobs will appear in crypto sooner or later, and I think it's going to be sooner. And when that happens, it's best to be armed. If you're one of those early adopters, if you just know the basics of it, then you have a much better chance when these crypto jobs show up compared to anyone else in the market. The FBI recently, infiltrated the Hive network and recovered like 130 million ransomware payments. That's one interesting news that has happened. Like a lot of now intelligence agencies are able to track, capture, recover all these ransomware payments. So crypto will not, be that easy way of laundering money, or taking ransomware and so on. So that's one positive for the whole crypto industry in general. And even Chainlysys, right, which is a company that is and a blockchain intelligence kind of a firm that works with the IRS to to detect all this. Even Chainlessers says the number of ransomware crypto revenue has decreased because victims are refusing to pay. Now, these two are very interesting, right? Which now these two are suggesting that crypto industry is not going to be so favorable towards ransomware and so on anymore. But on the other hand, Vitalik Buterin, for instance, says that the last remaining challenge for Ethereum is to create privacy, ensure the privacy of its users. And he says we have to do it through stealth addresses. The whole premise on which intelligence agencies, chain listers, etc., are trying to capture criminals is based on the fact that all of our, Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc., are pseudonymous and they're not anonymous. It means that if, let's say, Amy were to send Sham Bitcoin, then both of them know which wallet belongs to who. Right? It's pseudonymous. It's not really anonymous, and that's the principle on which Chainlisters and several others have been tracking several crypto ransomware payments and so on, and they've been helping the FBI and other agencies, recover the money. But if Vitalik goes ahead with the privacy related stealth addresses, then there could be a little bit of a spanner in the works, for these guys. That's something that might happen. But the larger theme here is there is a market, or there are a bunch of people who want to invest or who want to use crypto as a way to move money, and they want to do it privately because of, it might be ill-gotten wealth, and they're going to look for some avenues, right? And I think privacy coins will be a will try to have more interest from these people. And Monero, for instance, is one of those coins that will hugely benefit because of such actors in the market. So broadly, the larger trends is growth in self custody. That's something that will happen this year. Bankruptcies of last year will come to an end. FTX, Celsius, World, a lot of these bankruptcies that happened, they're all in courts around the world. And I think sooner or later, all this will come to an end. This will unlock a lot of liquidity, right? Both in terms of tokens that were locked up and in terms of money of people who, which was like pretty much locked up in all these places and they didn't have access to it. So in the short run, you might see, let's say, if FTX assets were liquidated, then some tokens might get dumped, causing a short volatility in the market. It could also cause a lot of people to get their money back and maybe reinvest somewhere else. That's something that could happen. So watch out for all that. That is something that would definitely happen this year. A lot of individuals and venture capitalists are already raising money for their next crypto fund, right? The Hong Kong investment fund, Hashkey Capital, raised $500 million for their third crypto fund. Former FTX US president Brett Harrison raised $5 million for his new crypto software firm. It means that people have faith in crypto. People are willing to put more money, even though a lot of VC firms and a lot of exchanges and a lot of crypto projects went bust. It doesn't matter. People have faith in this technology and they are willing to put more money on it, even with people who led disgraced firms like FTX. Right. So that means there is a lot of money that's going to come into crypto sooner or later. Right? Now people are now this VC fund that just raised money, they're going to close very soon and they're going to start deploying in the next 6 to 9 months. All that funds that they raise is going to start coming into the market. So in that sense, there is a great deal of interest from institutional players, a great deal of interest from individuals who understand this, who are willing to put some bit of angel money into this. You'll see a lot of new crypto projects coming up, and that's a great thing for the industry, right? That's the larger macro trend that's going to happen this year. Do keep commenting. Let me know what you guys think. I want to understand if you guys agree with me or you guys think otherwise. Whoever is watching, just do comment. And if you have any questions, do comment. I'll try and look at it and answer as soon as possible. But overall, I think these are the larger trends. So we looked at, I think in today's live session, at least we looked at the macro factors, we looked at institutional developments, and we looked at the larger trends that's happening in the market. So that's broadly what I think is going to happen in the market. Overall, I feel crypto is in a great shape. Uh, Going forward, you will see a lot of positives. This year is going to be a lot of positives for crypto. And next year, I think will be even better. Okay, Sham is asking, what is the meaning in coin market cap? It's not showing max supply for a token in future if they want to mint. Okay, so one is coin market cap might not necessarily have the full information about whether that coin has a fixed supply or not. Sometimes they do not show it. Sometimes I've seen wrong supply. In fact, I think in one of the videos I made on Kusama, I believe, where coin market cap showed that it had a fixed supply, but actually it did not have a fixed supply or something like that. So that's some coin market cap is not entirely reliable on such data. It's better to go to that token or that coin's website itself or the white paper of that coin or token and figure it out. Right over there, it'll probably be clearly mentioned that whether you can mint more of it or whether it is a fixed supply. So that's what I would say. I hope that helped, Sham. Is that hope that was the answer you were looking for. Cool. Uh, any other questions, guys? I think we could probably spend another 5 minutes on some kind of a Q and A, or or just I want to hear what are you guys up to. Personally, I'm looking to make a few investments into some interesting coins I've been researching on, especially the small caps. I'm going to keep making videos on them. A lot of small caps are going to rise this year, right? These are the ones that will probably give that 50x, 20x, whatever kind of returns. Of course, it might go bust as well. But that's something that I'm looking at, and I will keep posting videos on that. That's my goal. I believe a lot of you might have to file crypto taxes this year. Yeah, I will look into it. Yeah. What are you investing in, Dimitri? Anything else that you're investing in? So this year I'm working at a professional level. Okay, nice. I did make a video on that. You might want to check it out once. What's um, the price trends before getting in on that. Do check it out. This year I'm working on, like I mentioned earlier in the video, I'm working on a crypto tax product. That's something I'm doing at a professional capacity. So if any of you are looking to file crypto tax or have doubts about crypto taxes, then join the Telegram group and ping me, because it might help me in testing the product, and I can help you, with some information about how to file, or at least what should you really know about filing taxes. So we can probably do a one-on-one session if you are looking to file taxes in the US or in India on crypto, especially. Okay, so Sham is asking if a token is in 100% circulation, what makes a project to get motivated, go further develop next time? So it is not necessary that token supply should keep coming at a certain a time interval, like Bitcoin, for instance, for a project to be motivated, right? A project's motivation honestly comes from the features, the products that they are developing. Right? If you take anything, Ethereum has been on a constant development mode for the last, I don't know, so many years. Same way, every crypto project is trying to develop something because they want more users coming in, right? I'm working on a video on Axie Infinity. I think a lot of you know about Axie Infinity, right? Now, Axie Infinity had a game, and that was doing well, of course. And after that, they introduced the next game because they knew there was one shortfall, that it was the original game where you needed to have an Axie to play. Without having an Axie, you could not play, and for you to buy it itself was a steep curve. You had to have some bit of money to buy that. I think at one point from Axies were like 250 $300 each, so it was expensive to even buy an Axie and to start playing. So what did the game developers do? They went and created something called Axie Infinity Origins, where you did not need any Axie to start playing. That's one way they understood that we can get more players to come and start playing, right? So tokens in 100% circulation is not the only motivation for something to go up. Further development happens because they want more token usage. That's more important, right? At the end of the day, a token usage happens when there is demand for that token, and demand for that token will increase the price for that token. So all these supply demand gimmicks that a lot of coins do, that is only for managing the price. But I think honest crypto projects are not really concerned about that. So 100% circulation is perfectly fine as long as they have further developments coming about. Look at the roadmap. As long as more and more things are being built, more and more users are coming, active account wallets are increasing, then you will see a lot of um, uh, then you will see a lot of price increase for that token. So yeah, I hope that answered your question, Sham. Cool. I think it was a great Sunday morning talking to all of you about it. Thanks for joining in. We'll have another session next Sunday, either Sunday morning or Sunday probably evening, or whatever fits. Um, Stay tuned till then. Watch some of the videos that I will make this week. I have one video lined up on Axie Infinity. Um, and if there's any other video that you would like me to make, just comment and I will add it to my list. It might not be made immediately, of course. It might take a few weeks, but it's certainly there in my list, and I will create a video on that. So thank you for joining in. Do join our Telegram group, and we can discuss it at any point of time. So thanks everyone. See you. Have a great day.